In the world of fighting, every second counts. A single slip, a missed breath, or the slightest mistake can cost you everything. That's why some fighters go beyond training. They step into the shadows, searching for any edge no matter how strange, risky, or downright insane. Behind the bright lights and roaring crowds are secrets few dare to speak about. Rituals, lies, tricks that bend the rules without breaking them. Some worked, others backfired in brutal fashion, but all of them revealed just how far a fighter will go to win. This isn't about talent or skill, this is about obsession. These are the 10 craziest things fighters tried to gain an advantage, and the shocking stories behind them. Number 10. Frame Data IRL. In competitive gaming, frame data helps players analyze the timing of moves, how fast they start, how long they last, and how soon a character can act again. It sounds like something from a video game, but Georges St-Pierre actually used this in real-life fighting. He hired a specialist in Montreal to study frame data on his opponents. By closely examining footage, the expert measured reaction times, movement speed, and recovery periods. This allowed GSP to know exactly when to strike and when his opponents were vulnerable. He even discussed the technique on a podcast, explaining how these frame measurements gave him a reaction time advantage. GSP's camp also applied game theory to build decision trees from opponent behavior, predicting possible moves and outcomes. While some fighters never even watch footage, GSP turned his preparation into science. His detailed and strategic approach showed that brains, not just brawn, can win fights. Number 9. Lion's Den Madness. To join Ken Shamrock's famous Lion's Den gym, fighters had to endure a brutal initiation. This wasn't a normal tryout. Recruits were pushed through an exhausting routine that included 500 squats, bear crawls up hills, endless pull-ups, carrying heavy sandbags, and relentless stair runs. If that wasn't enough, they then had to spar for hours with fresh professional fighters who beat them mercilessly. The madness didn't stop after training. Newcomers lived at the gym and were subjected to mental warfare. Ken would sometimes whisper threats like, "I'm going to kill you," to test their nerve. His brother Frank reportedly choked trainees unconscious and greeted them with a shotgun when they woke up, all to instill constant readiness. While the den produced successful fighters, the methods were extreme. It wasn't just training, it was survival. Their edge came from living in a non-stop pressure cooker where every moment felt like a fight. Number 8. Spy games. It's a claim that surfaces often in combat sports. Fighters accuse their opponents of planting spies in their training camps. The idea is to gather inside information, game plans, strategies, or even injuries. Though usually dismissed as paranoia, some accusations come with weight. Before facing Michael "Venom" Page, Ian Machado Gary claimed that someone offered $10,000 to his training partner, Mateus Teixeira, to monitor his training and report back. Teixeira said he refused the offer because of loyalty. Rampage Jackson once suspected John Jones had someone spying on him before their title fight. To test this theory, Rampage faked an injury. When the news mysteriously got out, he believed his suspicions were confirmed. Jose Aldo went further. Before UFC 200, he openly admitted he sent people to watch Frankie Edgar train. Based on their findings, Aldo altered his approach in the cage. These stories suggest that spying in MMA might be more common than anyone admits. Number 7. Chamber of Solitude. Yuri Prochazka is known for his wild fighting style, but his preparation methods are even more extreme. Before big fights, he isolates himself in total darkness for 3 days. During this time, he doesn't eat and barely drinks water. This isn't a modern spa treatment or sensory tank session. Yuri sits alone in a pitch-black room, training his mind through pure silence and emptiness. But that's not all. He's known for punching trees hundreds of times a day and shadowboxing on ice. He even hired a movement coach to help him mimic the motions of animals like zebras. Before his rematch with Alex Pereira, Yuri asked him not to use his spiritual advisor, worried it might affect the outcome. After the fight, he admitted that focusing on outside forces distracted him. His unusual training gives him a unique edge, or possibly takes him too far from reality. Either way, it's unforgettable. Number 6. Lotion Gate Right. Before his high-stakes match against Kazushi Sakuraba on New Year's Eve in Japan, Yoshihiro Akiyama made a bizarre move. Just before walking out, he took off his GI and allowed his team to coat his entire body in Olay Quench body lotion. Reports claimed they used 6 full bottles. When asked about this strange decision, Akiyama said it was due to his skin condition, hyperhidrosis, which made him sweat excessively and left his skin very dry. Still, applying lotion before a fight seemed highly suspicious. Despite cameras catching the act backstage, the referee conducting body checks missed it. During the 5-minute fight, Sakuraba repeatedly told the referee that Akiyama was too slippery. Akiyama won by TKO, but after an investigation, officials confirmed the lotion made his skin dangerously slick when wet. As a result, the fight was ruled a no contest, and Akiyama received an indefinite suspension. His image took a serious hit. Number 4. Fasting against demons. Before his second fight with Wanderlei Silva for the Pride middleweight title, Rampage Jackson had a spiritual awakening. He believed he needed to purify himself to battle not just his opponent, but unseen evil. Convinced that fasting would drive away demons, Rampage drank only water for 3 straight days during fight week. His longtime coach, Colin Oyama, grew concerned. He noticed serious changes in Rampage after this sudden religious transformation, and both later admitted it affected their relationship. Jackson believed the fast would give him strength from above, but when the fight began, the results were clear. He appeared drained and sluggish after just 1 round. By the second, Silva overwhelmed him and scored a knockout. Jackson later called the fast a mistake. Though he may have felt spiritually prepared, physically, the decision left him weakened. It was a costly attempt at gaining an edge through faith instead of fuel. Number 3. Can't hurt. Tony Ferguson's late career has been a painful slide. Going into his fight with Paddy Pimblett, he was already on a 6-fight losing streak. Desperate to change things, Tony took a wild approach. He brought in David Goggins, a former Navy SEAL known for pushing himself to extreme physical limits. Goggins runs ultramarathons, swims with his hands and feet tied, and thrives on suffering. Tony, already famous for bizarre and intense workouts, decided he needed more of that energy. During fight camp, Goggins pushed him to his breaking point, but when the cage door shut, the results didn't follow. Ferguson lost every round and suffered another unanimous decision defeat. Even longtime supporters questioned the strategy. Pushing past limits might work for mental growth, but it didn't help Tony win. Goggins preaches never quitting, but inside the cage, all the motivation in the world couldn't stop the mounting losses. Number 2. Prank calling a Gracie. In 1995, Renzo Gracie entered the World Combat Championship, a one-night tournament featuring multiple fights. His first opponent was Ben Spijkers, a 3-time Olympic judoka from the Netherlands. Before they ever stepped into the cage, Ben tried something strange. The night before the fight, he allegedly prank-called Renzo's hotel room over and over, trying to disrupt his sleep. At the press conference, he added more fuel by mocking Henzo's appearance, claiming his eyes looked like his girlfriend's. He continued the trash talk at weigh-ins, clearly aiming to get inside Gracie's head. But once the fight started, it was a disaster for Ben. After landing a good takedown, he quickly lost position. Henzo unleashed heavy elbows and choked him out with his own GI. As if to add insult to injury, Gracie kicked him after the stoppage and even stepped on his head. The prank backfired completely, fueling Henzo's rage instead. Number 1. The Cursed Painting. Jason DeLucia had always walked a strange path in martial arts, but one story stands out as his wildest moment. Years ago, he moved to Los Angeles, hoping to answer a public challenge made by Steven Seagal, who claimed anyone could visit his dojo and fight him to the death. That match never happened. But what followed was even more bizarre. Before his third fight against Bas Rutten, a rumor spread that Jason had painted a portrait of Bas, convinced him to add a drop of his blood, and then placed a curse on it. The legend claimed the spell shattered Rutten's liver. But according to DeLucia, the real story was different. On a podcast, he explained the ritual wasn't about Bas at all. The painting was meant to help Frank Shamrock, who was about to debut against Rutten. DeLucia used his own blood and Frank's as part of a Wiccan spell for victory, and Shamrock won.